First question is, this car is really appreciated by the journalists. It's fun to drive, it's easy to drive, and it's amazing. So what is the present use and the future use of this RS01?
Yeah, so this car, in fact, has been developed to race in the World Series by Renault, which is a format in which we have Pro and Am, which will race together. But they also have a unique, we have a unique approach where they have a race alone in their car. So they have a ranking at the end of the season where they have new tires, qualification and race only by themselves, and they can get a prize money with their ranking. But also because it's a team, they have a race where they compete together. That is the main and first use of the car, which has been launched this season in 25. And we are here in Jerez, where we will have the final round this weekend. On top of that, we have been working in, which may be strange, in slowing the car, because the car is very fast and cannot be competing with GT3 cars. So the car is not a GT3 because it is not derivated from a road car. Nevertheless, we will slower the car with a few technical changes in order to allow this car to be accepted in races with other GT3s. So this is a process we've been through these last months, and we have a technical homologation now which allows us to be welcome. Of course, it's not only our choice, it is relying on the promoters, but this car can be seen also in GT3 races from now on.
Since you're talking about derivatives to street car, from street car, let me ask the other question around. I mean, all this technology that you learn from the motorsports, how much goes into serial cars, and how do you work with engineers who work on normal cars?
So in fact, it depends of the kind of cars. This car is pretty extreme. The level of performance is very, very high and is clearly above all the other Renault Sport products that we have, such as Megane RS, Clio RS. Nevertheless, we are a team of engineers in Renault Sport technology, which works, some of them on motorsport, some of them on sport road cars, and we have, of course, lots of synergies where we can try to learn the one from the others. And it is very, very easy to demonstrate when, for instance, we do a Clio Renault Sport road version and a Clio Cup. So at this level, it is much easier to demonstrate than at this level where this car is quite a little bit extreme. And as I said, we do not have yet a road car level of performance close to that. We hope it will come one day, thanks to this exchange of engineers and technologies.
And this leads me to one of the questions of the journalist. Do we have a dream that this car might come on the road one day?
Yes, but it is a dream. Unfortunately, there is too many constraints from the road car homologations to be able to transform this as a road car. We would dream of. We are sure some customers would be happy. So maybe one day someone will find a solution, but us as a manufacturer point of view, we have too many constraints to bring that as an homologation process.
Motorsports is in the DNA of Renault. Formula E, I think you're involved as well, is part of the future of the motorsports for Renault. Formula One, we're talking about the Lotus acquisition, eventual, if it's finalized. Rally, I think you follow as well. What is the future of motorsports for Renault in general? Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? Is it stable for next year?
Well, I believe it is in the DNA of Renault, and it is a very good asset for Renault. So for the time being, I have no doubt it will remain. It's a philosophy of Renault to highlight its skills through to competition. So Formula One, Formula E, RS01, Clio Cup, Rally. Maybe it will move. One day we will stop something. Another day we will bring something. Formula E is brand new. It's something we are just in the second season, which will start in a few days now in China. So I'm sure we will still be leaving a few changes, but I'm sure it will be still in the heart of Renault communication and marketing.
Okay, Renault is very strong in motorsport competition. So what's the future of this car in GT3?
So in fact, regarding GT3, we have had first to slower the car because the car is much too quick, and we have developed a kit which will be adapted to this car and we will propose this kit for around 10,000 euros, which is very small compared to the cost of the car and the level of performance. This kit will change a few parts, and it will allow the car to be compared to GT3 competition. To do so, the team will have to choose if they race only in GT3. In that case, they put the kit and they don't change it. Or they can, of course, do some races in World Series, some races in GT3. They just have to change the brake, some aerodynamic components, and we have an air restrictor for the power. So it's quite easy, quite simple. Now, what is important to understand is that although we have done the job to bring the car at the right level of performance, it is also to the promoter of the races of GT3 to accept us or not. Because we are not a true GT3. We are with a balance of performance equivalent to a GT3, but because we don't have the road car homologation from which we have derived our car, we cannot say we are a GT3. We are a modification of the World Series spec to be able to compete with GT3 at the same level of performance. So we are in this time talking with drivers, with teams, with promoters to see how it can happen. And I'm pretty sure we have already a lot of interest, and we will find some agreements with promoters so the car will be seen in GT3 from next year.
Has there been any contact with any of these promoters to eventually compete in GT3?
Yeah, we have already taken contact, but because our homologation form has been only released last week, so it's very recent, we cannot give any formal information about it, but we are having good discussion with some of these promoters.